Hi, my name's Chris Neville from Counterfire. I'm here with Gary Walker, who's one of the guys from CHEP. The guys there have finally won their epic strike after 21 weeks. Gary, congratulations. Big victory. I know it's been a long time, but there was some really hard work and brilliant organising that's gone into this. How are you feeling tonight?
Um, well, to be honest with you, I kind of knew I had a strong feeling the way it was going to go this ballot. I mean, I didn't want to tempt fate, but I kind of knew where we was going with it. So it's not come as a surprise to me today. But obviously, the overall result and everything that we've come back with, I'm absolutely over the moon, mate. It's how can I put it? I wouldn't say an anti-climax for me from a personal point of view. I'm just a little bit. It just seems the best word I can use is surreal. Really, obviously, kind of get used to strike life, and you know deep down in the back of your mind that it's not something that's going to go on forever, and you know you're going to have to put it to bed, but it was a bit sad today, to be honest with you. Just when we ripped the picket down, and it was like, and you seen it all, you knew it was the end, and so it was a bit anticlimax is the wrong word. It was just a bit sad. Obviously, it feels like the right time. But even so, I've had some of the best times of my life on that ticket. I'm not gonna lie, mate. It's been absolutely fantastic. Met loads of different people. I've met yourself, and we're gonna keep in touch. You know what I mean? And it's just like the support's been amazing. And like I said, honestly, I've had some nights on there, but better nights than when I was in my early 20s. You know what I mean? It's been brilliant.
Yeah. So originally you were kind of given this really rubbish offer, which I guess is what kind of was set the ground for the strike. I was wondering if you could maybe give us a little bit of a background about what happened after that and how you ended up getting to where you did.
Yeah, so I'll just try. I'll give you a quick rundown. I'll just start at the beginning. So, like, I've been back working for the company for 7 years now. I was there in my early 20s for 3 years, so I've got 10 years experience. And now it's been. I was happy to go back working there, but just seeing the sort of the depot of the way it's been, particularly the last few years, sort of maybe the last. I'd probably say it started really getting bad when the previous manager, site manager, plant manager left. Now, the payoffers were never great under him, but whether he was a good salesman or what, there was a better morale in the depot and then when he went, it just sort of just become rudderless, and the morale was low, and then the offers were just poor. And when you've got a company making that amount of money, and you're just getting year in, year out, just derisory crap offers, and there was just no morale running through the plant. So then in 2020, when I became the rep, there was already the reps for sort of the first 4 years, 5 years I was there. We had a long-standing rep. We had another two reps that one was isolated because he was on nights and he wasn't really in communication with the other two. He was not really operating as a union. So then when the main rep then retired, and when he retired, he did a proper handover process to the rep, to the incumbent, the incoming rep, and he got too close with management, and then it just become the whole depot. The union wasn't doing what it should do, and there was just a lot of people just wasn't happy. Morale was crap, and there wasn't. I mean, now looking back with hindsight, with these reps, there was never ever going to take us to where we are now. it's proven by one of them just didn't come out on strike. He stayed in, so he wasn't willing to take it that far. So straight away, he was never willing to use the ultimate sanction. So I came in 2020, and I knew right from the off that something had to change. I didn't quite know how to do it, other than pretty much just tell one of them that he basically had to go. So he went, and then the other one, I don't know whether the other one seen the writing on the wall that was coming, you know, and then he quit. But when he quit, he left a big gap in terms of the whole branch and everything. It was just a mess. The whole thing was a mess. And then we sort of wasted 2020 with a bit of a squabbling amongst ourselves. But the offers, you know, the offers were still coming in that wasn't acceptable. And we should have striked in 2020. It was all lined up to do that. And then we just ran out of time in 2020. We couldn't get it done in time. So we decided to go back. But with hindsight now, the best thing was that we come out in 2021 because we was more prepared. And the troubles in 2020, I think, was a springboard to get more people actually interested in what was going on with the union. To just their ears were pricking up to see that there was things changing behind the scenes, and people get a bit interested when they hear that there's a bit of friction and stuff like that. It just gets people talking, and my personal opinion is just to get people talking about it to start with. So is the first step, because most people was just completely switched off with it. No one was interested. You couldn't get anybody wanting to be a rep, and so just getting people talking was the good part. And then you move through with the COVID and the fact that we was key workers, so all that then came into the picture. And then to top it off, then they come and offered what they offered us in 2021, which was 1.8%, which was just insulting. There's no other words to describe it, and that just stirred up anger. And then it went up to 2%, and still derisory. And it just got to a point where enough was enough. And right up until the ballot, to be honest with you, the ballot for strike action, there was still a lot of doubts whether we'd hit the threshold, because, you know, people say they're going to do it, but ultimately in the confines of their own home, when they're doing a ballot, you can't predict what people are going to put in the box. But we got a strong mandate to come out, and that's what we did. And we came out as novices. We didn't have a clue what we was doing, and we just literally went and stood on the road with a gazebo in the wind and the rain. And I think we was just losing gazebos, and they were just going all over, and we was cable tying them up, and I think in the end, I think the gazebo that we ended up taking down today was our third or fourth gazebo, because we just couldn't get them to stay down. And then just basically, and people had said that a picket grows its own legs, and it just, you know, it grows from where it is, and that it's true. It just once you get out there, the momentum just starts rolling, and you just get taken along with it on a bit of a crest of a wave. And like people like yourself start turning up at the picket. You get loads of people from different unions, which you don't expect, because you just don't, you know what a strike is, obviously, but you don't know what it entails. And then all of a sudden, it's just got momentum then, and it just goes from there. So yeah, it's just been a mad whirlwind 21 weeks. And when I say it's a bit sad to let it go, I'm not gonna lie, it's been a big thing in my life. So whilst you got to go back to work and you've got to get back to reality, but it doesn't stop you sort of having a bit of sadness to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I can imagine, and you know, even for me, it's going to be weird not being able to go down there and say hello.
I know, and somebody said something yesterday about it. We was in the cafe across the road getting some food, and we said that it was coming to an end and all that. And she said, the girl in there, she said, it'll be weird driving past in the morning and not seeing it there. He's just got used to it. You know what I mean? But like you said, it's not reality, is it? In terms of it's reality for the here and now. But the reality is, if we'd have got a quick deal, it would never have grown the way it did. It could have stopped at any moment. It could. I mean, if the company had had any sense, then they'd give us what we wanted early on, because it would have cost them less. But they've dragged their feet, and ultimately, when you package it all together, from what we was asking for to do a deal in monetary value, they've actually given us more than what we was originally asking. So, but like I said, they could have solved this a lot quicker, and they decided not to. So ultimately, all this momentum that we've built up, it's been there. They've created it. They by their naivety. But like I said, they wouldn't if that. So it could not have even existed, all of this. So in a way, you know, they've done us all a favour. They've played right into our hands.
Yeah. Now, just in terms of the wider networks and the future, I wonder what you think the future holds of that, because, for example, the People's Assembly stuff around the cost of living crisis, the demos and marches that we've done in Manchester, the lads at CHEP, and it's been amazing, of being a very big part of that. They've come on the demos, they've spoken on the platforms. So where does it go from there? Because you have become very much part of that wider movement now, haven't you?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and the thing is, it's very important that we don't just say, right, we've got what we want, we go back in work and we just close the gates and that's it, we've got what we want. Because one, that would be pure selfish, but not only that, it could potentially weaken us going forward, because all this experience that we've now got that we can pass on to other people. But not only that, there's still lots more that we can learn from other people within the movement. You know what I mean? I'm nowhere near where I want to be with for basic knowledge. There's so much more that I can do and learn about, you know, the trade union movement, just loads of stuff, and network and build that up. And it's important now, though, that people, you know, don't get bored of listening. Then it's important that people listen, take on board what we're saying, and hopefully, like I said, draw inspiration to maybe think, well, hang on a minute. And that's why I keep repeating it, that I don't want people to think that we've always been as we are. We've not. We've come from nothing. And if you reverse 12, 18 months, we was on our ass. We wasn't where we are now. And I just want to keep repeating that to people, because I want people that, if they are feeling down in the workplace and think that it's not possible, I just want people to get it into their heads that it is possible. Because I was the same, and I just didn't. I was stuck in a rut within my job and just going to work, and you just look around you and you just get demoralized, because you just think, is this it? I'm you know, I'm a union member and I'm trying to be a rep and all that, but if I can't even, you know, if I'm not going to get anywhere, because it does just demoralize you a little bit, so you get stuck in a rut. So I just think it's important that message goes out, that we're just normal, run-of-the-mill working class people that have just stood up and come together, and we're just, you know, we're all just different characters, you know, multicultural people from different walks of life, from, you know, Eastern Europe, Portugal, you know, the UK. We're all just so different in so many different ways, but then we've all come together as a group. And, you know, like I said, I've met people on the picket that have come down to the picket that I've seen for the first time, but also I've met and got to know people that I've worked in the same depot with for 7 years, seen them knocking about, but never really had a conversation with them. And I've just got to know them. And I told one of them the other day that it's been an honour to actually just get to know him. And, you know, I really do think that we'll be friends for the rest of our lives, and it brings that bond. And I did say I posted a message in the group, and I said that we've now got, the 60 odd of us have now got this unwritten, this bond that's there, regardless of whether we all like each other individually. We've got that common bond that we'll always be able to look at each other and know that we was on that picket together. And then people that crossed that line and went into work are not going to have that, whether they care or not. They might not give a shit, but it's just unfortunate that they can't understand how important it is and what it means to just come together to do it. So it fills me with a lot of joy going forward that we can keep that bond and keep us united.
Yeah, good, and that's obviously going to be important going forward in work, especially when the next pay offer comes up as well.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I just wondered as well, so we've got this cost of living crisis, and lots of people's wages aren't keeping up with inflation. Let's say, what do you hope that other workers who are facing this cost of living crisis can, I suppose, take from your victory, really?
Basically, I want them to say that basically it's possible for anyone, because if we can do it, and I really mean this, right? We've come from nothing. I keep repeating it. We literally have. We've come from nothing, and the company have beat us down. They have beat us down. The morale's been crap. You know what I mean? And you're just coming into work unhappy, and what's the saying? If you're happy in work, you never work a day's life for the rest of your life. And it's true, because you work a third of your life, don't you? You do the other third sleep, and then you supposedly get the other third to do what you want, but it never works like that. So you actually end up spending more time working than you do anything else. So I think it's important, and I've always been a big advocate of this, that it's important that the workplace is a positive environment. And if it's not, which what it wasn't, then it's very easy to become demoralized, and it plays with your mental health as well, doesn't it? Getting up and going to do the same thing every day, so, and not having that buy-in when you do want to make some changes and stuff, not having that buy-in, it is hard, it's difficult, but just want to get the message out that if we can do it, and literally anybody can do it, and just have a go. I know sometimes there's a lot of fair, and there was fair running through our depot, and that's what companies play on. They play on fair, and they play on division as well. And it is difficult. It is difficult, but if you can come together and overcome that fear, then we're a prime example now. We are. It really dawned on me when I first come out, if I'm being honest. If people telling you you're an inspiration and stuff, you don't take it too seriously. A bit of humility in you, but you just think, oh, well, come out purely for selfish reasons. But when you do sit down and just think about it, you think, well, yeah, if we can inspire people to, basically just do something, then that's brilliant.
Nice one, Gary. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you speaking to us. And
yeah,
I know you're back in tomorrow, and I hope you all go in there feeling absolutely amazing. I know it's going to be strange for you, but
yeah, it's going to be strange. And I mean, it's euphoric. People are happy. We're going in, and that was something that I was really keen on, that we go in with a spring in our step and didn't over push it and stay out too long when we go back in divided, because that would undermine all the hard work. So yeah, we're going in euphoric. Obviously, people are not going to be too happy about going into work, but it's just, it's just important now that morale stays high, and that we really kick on with other things, because it's not over. There's stuff that we've got to address, and hopefully we can build now with other depots and get that collective bargaining, which is something that I want to get my teeth into going forward.
Great. Thanks a lot, Gary.